I'm Elaine and welcome to my channel. Well, today I'm going to be making some quick and easy scalloped potatoes for two. This recipe actually will feed it'll feed two, but it may feed up to 3 or 4 depending on your serving sizes, but it's just a small amount instead of a great big pan load that winds up going to waste or whatever. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, now to get this started, what we're going to need is, this is a 2.75 quart baking dish that I have sprayed with cooking spray, and I'm going to set this aside. Now I have 4 small to medium red potatoes. I have 1 small onion, and I have 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour. I have 2/3 a cup of heavy cream. Now you can also use a 5-ounce can of evaporated milk, whatever you happen to have. I didn't have any evaporated milk, so I'm using the heavy cream today. And you're going to need 1/8 a teaspoon each of garlic powder and onion powder. You're going to need a teaspoon of salt. And you're going to need 1 cup, which I left over here, of cheddar cheese that has been divided, and that's what we're going to need to get started. So I'm going to go ahead and peel these potatoes, and I'm going to slice them into 1/4 inch slices, and I'm going to cut my onion into rings and put that in there with the potatoes, and we're going to boil them for about 7 to 8 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and get that part started, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, I have my water on the stove that has come to a boil, and I'm going to add my potato slices and my onions that I've left into rings, and we're going to put these in that boiling water. Okay, so now we're going to let this return to a boil, and once this returns to a boil, we're going to reduce our heat and let this to a good medium heat, and we're going to let these cook for about 7 to 8 minutes. So we're just waiting now for it to come to its boil, and it is, you can see it's just returning to a boil. So I am going to go ahead and turn this down and let these cook for about 7 to 8 minutes, and when they're done I will be back to show you what to do next. Okay, now my potatoes are cooked just till they're fork tender, and you can see I've left probably 1/4 to 1/2 cup of liquid in those, and we're going to go ahead and add the rest of our ingredients. So to this, let me move it off the heat. I don't want it on that heat just yet. I'm trying to put it where you can still see. Okay, turned my burner down. We're going to add 1/8 of a teaspoon of onion powder. Now you can add more of these seasonings if you like. We prefer it a little on the milder side. So I'm going to add 1/8 of a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. Now I'm going to take my heavy cream, and I'm going to mix in that 1 tablespoon of flour that I showed you earlier. Okay, and we're just going to stir that in. And if it's got some little tiny lumps, that's okay. Don't worry about that. Those will cook up. So we're going to just stir that in. Alright, and now let me grab my spatula. Should have already had that over there, but like a dummy I left it on the other side of the sink. Okay, and now I'm just going to pour this right in, and I'm going to use my spatula because I want to be extra careful not to break up those potatoes. So I'm just going to kind of lightly and very gently stir this together. Now you want to cook this until it starts to thicken. I'm going to turn the heat back up a little bit so that I can start working with this and getting it to thicken. And now this is a really good recipe with Valentine's Day coming up, because you might want to fix this with a nice steak or some kind of, maybe some kind of seafood. Overlook that sound. That was my husband over there clearing his throat. He's watching TV. But so, but it would be a really good dinner to fix with maybe one of your favorite kind of meats or seafood dishes. This would go with just about anything. And this is already beginning to thicken, so I'm just going to let this cook a little bit longer. And when it gets thick enough, I will be back and show you what we're going to do after that. Okay, this has thickened up to just about the consistency that I wanted it to be at. So now I've taken it off the heat, and I'm going to gently, very gently, stir in my cheddar, the first half of my cheddar cheese. And we're just going to kind of stir this in till it melts. Okay, it is looking very good. Okay, and now at this point I'm going to pour it in to my casserole dish. Now my oven has been preheating up to 375 degrees, so that's where we're gonna cook this, is in that 375 degree oven. Now, I'll get the rest of my cheese. And I'm just going to sprinkle this on top. And you can add more if you like. In fact, I think I might add just a little bit more before I put this in the oven. So I'm going to get this in the oven, and I will be back with you when it's done to show you what it looks like on the plate. Okay, and here's what they look like on the plate. They cooked about 20-25 minutes in my oven, and they came out just about right. And I also have some green beans and some chicken strips that I made. I haven't featured the chicken strips on a video yet, but I'm going to. I think next time I fix them, I will go ahead and put those on a video for you. Well, I thank you for watching, and I sure hope that you'll give this recipe a try. Like I said before, it would be a great recipe for Valentine's Day to accompany maybe your favorite meat, and it doesn't make too much, so it would be really good for that. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be having more videos in the future. Thanks again, and have a wonderful rest of the day, and thanks for watching.